What's up everybody, Captain Foggy here from Mind Sculpting MTG. Welcome to the very first installment of Deck Tech Evolution, the video series that gives you a behind the scenes look at tuning and testing the decks you will see in future Deck Tech episodes. In today's episode, we take a look at RW Exert. Exert is a shiny new mechanic from Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. Generally, it triggers during combat when you declare an attack with a creature with Exert. Unfortunately, those creatures don't untap during the next untap step. So how do we abuse this mechanic? With Always Watching. With Always Watching, all of the creatures get +1/+1 in Vigilance. Vigilance is the key to our success because it completely disregards the drawback of Exert by not tapping at combat. Getting to give Gust Walker flying every combat or getting to use Ahn-Crop Crasher's ability to keep an opponent from blocking every combat is brutal and sometimes unfair. Originally, this deck was Naya colors utilizing green for color fixing and Ahn-Crop Champion. That made the deck too inconsistent and very clunky. Green had to go. Also, I tried Oketcher's Monument. Again, consistency was an issue, so I decided to run Gideon ally of Zendikar instead. Now, on to the games. Today we are playing against Ramunap Red, known as one of the most aggressive decks in the format. We choose to be on the play for the first game. Alright, opening hand looks good, we're going to keep it. Alright, for our first turn we're going to play an Inspiring Vantage and play Thraben Inspector, also known as Inspector Gadget, and pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain. Follows it up with a Bomat Courier. Alright, so we draw another Ahn-Crop Crasher, we play a Plains, we attack with the Thraben Inspector, no blocks, get in for 1. Opponent plays another Mountain, follows it up with an Earthshaker Kenra. Thraben Inspector's tapped anyway, so it doesn't matter. Opponent gets in for 3, we're at 17. We go ahead and pop our clue, draw a Gideon ally of Zendikar. Alright, our turn. Draw a second Declaration in Stone, we got plenty of removal. We play a Ahn-Crop Crasher, get in for 4. Opponent goes down to 15. Alright, so he plays another Mountain, plays a Kari Zev. Swings out. We take 3. Go down to 14. Our turn. We draw another Inspiring Vantage. Go ahead and play it. Play our Always Watching. This is what's great about Always Watching. Now we can actually exert Ahn-Crop Crasher when we attack. And not have to worry about tapping it and not untapping next untap step. So of course we get in for 6. Put our opponent down to 9. This deck can get brutal sometimes. Alright, so Chandra Torch of Defiance comes down for our opponent. Alright, deals 4 damage to our Ahn-Crop Crasher. Thankfully we got a second one in the hand. Alright, so of course he wants to swing out. He's going to get his 2/1 monkey token. Alright, so what are we going to block? We're going to block the Bomat Courier because he's tapped out right this second. He's got a few cards exiled with its ability, so now we're going to deny him some card advantage. Really just seemed like the best option at the time. Alright, our turn. We draw a second Always Watching. We're going to go ahead and throw down another Ahn-Crop Crasher, excuse me. We're going to swing the Thraben Inspector at Chandra and swing the Ahn-Crop Crasher at our opponent. No reason to exert it, although it doesn't matter either way. He does have Vigilance after all. Alright, we pass the turn. Opponent's at 4, we are at 9. A second Chandra Torch of Defiance comes down. Seems like it's the same old song and dance. He's going to kill the Ahn-Crop Crasher. Alright, so at this moment it looks like he's starting to stabilize a little bit better and try to turn the tide on me a little bit. Opponent passes the turn. We draw plains. Go ahead and deck and stone the Kari Zev. Go ahead and play the second Always Watching. Now we got a 3/4 Inspector Gadget. Go ahead and attack with it. Of course he's going to block with the Earthshaker Kenra. Now that's one less threat we have to deal with. Hazard the Fervent comes down. So our opponent only has one card in hand, so he could swing out with the Hazard the Fervent if he really wanted to. But of course, considering I have lethal on board right this second, it wouldn't be a good idea, so he decides to hold that back instead. Alright, so he gets a trigger off of Chandra Torch of Defiance, card off the top of the deck. Gets an Incendiary Flow. Decides to go ahead and cast that. Targeting me, of course, putting me down to 6. Alright, so right here there's many different ways I could do this. I could just deck and stone the Hazard and swing it with the Thraben Inspector. Instead, I would much rather bring down the Glorybringer. Swing with the Glorybringer, bada bada bada. No reason to exert it because Hazard is indestructible after all. Alright, so we win the first game. On to the sideboard. As far as sideboard options, I usually like to sideboard in some life gain like Sunscourge Champion. We're going to take a few of the Resolute Survivors out to make room for some other things like Make a Stand. Make a Stand's in there so that way we can swing in, and if he's got like a shock or something like that, we have protection against that. Taking Always Watching out. Gonna bring in a couple of Blessed Alliances. Take out the Declaration and Stones. Hindsight is 20/20. I really feel like I should have just left in the deck and stones, honestly.
Your game has started.
Alright, so don't really like this hand. We're gonna throw it back. This looks a lot better. We're gonna keep that plains on top. Mountain, Soulscar Mage for his first play. We are going to throw down a Plains and an Expedition Envoy. Another Mountain for our opponent. Kari Zev Skyship Raider comes down, swings with the Soulscar Mage, decides to hold it back after all, so he passes the turn. We draw a Shefet Dunes. Go ahead and play the Needle Spires because we don't have an effective turn 2 play. I suppose we could have just went ahead and played these Shefet Dunes and left up the Blessed Alliance. That might have been a much better play, honestly. Alright, so he's got a shock. Takes care of our Expedition Envoy. Throws down an Earthshaker Kenra. This is where things start getting nasty for us. Swings out, gets the 2/1 Monkey Token. Puts us down to 13. That's the thing about Ramunap Red, is it's hyper aggressive. It can deal tons of damage out of nowhere. Alright, so we've got an Ahn-Crop Crasher coming down for us now. We're gonna leave it open to block. Pass the turn. Opponent plays another Mountain. Decides to Incendiary Flow our Ahn-Crop Crasher. Swings out once again. Puts us down to 6. Throws down another creature, Falkenroth Gorger, 2/1. So we throw down a Plains, and basically what we're going to do right here is we're going to wait for him to swing out. Go ahead and throw down the Blessed Alliance, escalating it. We're going to gain 4 life and make our opponent sacrifice an attacking creature. Doesn't completely take care of the problem, but it does at least kind of buy us some time a little bit. So he sacrifices the Earthshaker Kenra. That's what I would have done too if I was him. He can always eternalize it back later on in the game. Of course, he thinks he can do it right now, but he can't. He's only got 5 mana open. So, effectively, we got rid of a creature and only lost 2 life during that combat. That's not too bad, honestly. It just bought us a little bit of time. Alright, so we got a Sunscourge Champion. We're going to throw that down too as well to gain a little bit more life. Throw down the Thalia's Lieutenant, make our Sunscourge Champion a 3/4. The main focus of this deck is actually to abuse as many Exert triggers as we possibly can. However, it does have a great human sub-theme, so that's the reason why I've got Thalia's Lieutenant in there in the first place. Alright, so he's just going to swing out with the Ikari Zev. That's pretty smart because it's got Menace. I can't block it anyways, but I can block the Monkey Token. Fortunately, the Monkey Token keeps coming back every single turn as long as he can swing out with the Ikari Zev. Alright, our turn, we draw a card, we get another Thalia's Lieutenant. We are going to throw down a Gideon, ally of Zendikar. Create a guy. Pass the turn so we've got people to block with. We're at 5, our opponent is at 20, it's not looking good for us at all. I'm pretty sure we're going to wind up losing this game. And our opponent skips his combat step for some reason, decides to eternalize the Earthshaker Kenra. Huge misplay on his part, so I guess he decided to concede the match after all anyway. So, hey, that's a win for us, I'll take it. Thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more future content. Also, I'd really love to hear your feedback. What do you think about the deck so far? It's almost close to being done. It's a little far from completion. It's already gone through a lot of different iterations as it is. If you have any comments or feedback, don't forget to share that with me down in the comments section below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.